G'day, mates. I'm your tour guide, Howell, and I'm here to take you on an extraversion. But you're probably thinking, how can I trust this wacky didgeridoo on stage? Well, you can. Now, I'm not going to really take you on a safari, so don't actually expect me to get you on a plane, because that just costs too much money, and I have like 8 minutes. So, I'm just going to show you my resume, right? So, I'm a public speaker. I'm doing this right now, but in addition to this, I have also done many other things, like the Civil War project last year, also the ancient animal thingy project, right? But I'm also an actor. I'm not really an Aussie, I'm an American. But, so I've also acted in The Lion, The Witch in the Wardrobe, and Cafe Murder, and a church play. I don't remember the name of it, but it was good. I played a dad. But now I'm a safari guy. I stand strong against peer pressure, so all of you are like, hey Harrison, jump off the stage and do a backflip. I'm gonna be like, no, that's a dumb idea. So I'm not gonna do that, you know? So this is my list of previous clients. I took the University of Iowa and the University of Southampton on a tour, and they were like, wow, this is some crazy cool stuff. And so you know what they did? They all researched being extroversion. What do you know, because I'm so cool. And once they researched it, they found what the University of Iowa found, actually. They found that being outgoing leads you to be more gregarious and socially active in life, which means you have like a lot of friends and stuff, just a fancy way of saying it. And the University of Southampton, they found that if you're extroverted, you'll be happier later in life. And that means when you're older, you won't be complaining about your arthritis, you'll be riding a skateboard or something. So that's cool. And my mentor, Arrow Young, she said, being outgoing is like a segue into adventure. You never know where it'll lead you. So there's problems when you're being outgoing, like everything you do. Like you're mopping something, you get impaled with a mop. Something like that can happen. So there's problems with trying to be outgoing. Not with being outgoing, just trying. Peer pressure, being afraid to make new friends, and a lack of self-confidence. These are the three biggies. So the first one is peer pressure. I like to call this a bear trap. Now, it's not really a bear trap, it's just a metaphorical bear trap, don't worry. So, I'm going to give you an example here. There's a little baby cheetah walking around, right? Chomp! His leg's in a metaphorical bear trap. But don't worry, there's no blood or anything, it's not a real bear trap, it's just his friends. And so, they're like, hey, baby cheetah, you want to help me cheat on the math test? And he's like, that's a bad idea. And like, come on. And the cheetah's like, okay, fine. So he ends up cheating, and you know what happens? He starts doing bad things, and doing drugs and alcohol, and although his real life doesn't end, his social life has. So he also missed out on opportunities and turned into a different person. I mean, cheetah. So there's problems with being afraid to make new friends. Now this one is a really nasty one because it forms a Mobius loop, which is just an infinity symbol. It's just a cool word for it, right? And what happens is you're afraid to make new friends. So when you're afraid to make new friends, you don't get practice being extroverted. And if you don't get practice being extroverted, you won't be. When you're not extroverted, you won't make new friends. And when you don't make friends, well, you see where I'm going with this. It just doesn't work. Eventually, if you do that, you'll be alone in your room playing with your Legos and your pet wallaby. And it becomes hard to get out of bear traps because you'll recognize peer pressure from people who aren't really your friends as your real friends. You're like, what do I do? And so you'll end up getting into peer pressure. And end up like the cheetah I mentioned. Not fun. Now, a lack of self-confidence is a big one, right? And this is just a major one. Because if you hold your head down low, you get overlooked because your head's down low. And when you hold your head down low, you get pushed around. People be like, I'm better than you. You know, and you don't want people to think that. You want to be pretty awesome. So you have negative feelings towards yourself, and it'll be harder to achieve success. And no one wants it to be harder. So why not just be outgoing, you know? Now, I have the key to these problems. Or should I say, motorcycle. Now, here are the steps. Step 1, surround yourself with others. It can be anyone, you know? Like maybe it's your dad or your friend. Put a few shrimp on the barbie with your dad. I don't know, whatever you like to do. Step 2, once you have your Avengers or team ready or whatever you want to call them, you got to, try something new. And you might be a little scared to try something new because you never try things new. So what you gotta do is you gotta use your friends as a staircase to achieve success. And once you've achieved success, you know what you gotta do? Enjoy! Now this is the possible benefits. Possible benefit number 1. You have improved social skills and new friends. And that is like really cool. See how they're all in harmony, the animals. Pretty awesome, right? And I know you want to have a lot of friends. Possible benefit number 2. You have increased self-confidence. Now this is just a monkey, right? Wrong. It's a chimp. So what's significant about him is NASA was like, we need to do something now. And so they found this chimp right here. His name is Ham. And they sent him into space because he was so confident about himself. And it just goes to show, if you're really confident and have success, self-confidence and stuff, people will want you to do jobs. So enough with the monkey business. You know, I was gonna make a pun about blasting off into success, but I forgot that. So you know. Positive benefit number 3: you have a positive outlook in life. And really, I don't need to explain this much. Just you have a great life, and that's just awesome. Be positive. Now, in conclusion, although introversion is not a bad quality to have, by being extroverted, you have reaped the benefits. Now, on 3, everyone raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. You little Joey in the front. Do you want to be more outgoing? Yes. There you have it. From the audience, thank you.